Yo, what it is, YouTube? It's your boy Nitz coming back with another bullseye of a tutorial here today. We're gonna go over how to process some saucy ad-libs using that SoundToys one plugin type of ad-lib challenge that we're trying to do today. Actually, two plugins. We got a little EQ. Okay, so if you guys do got any more questions or comments or anything like that y'all want to see down below, any different ideas for videos, drop it down below. I'm more than happy to get to it out the gate. Let's not waste no time. Let's get to listening to a little bit of music right now. Let's get to saucing up some ad-libs. Let's pay attention. Let's go.
Jason made another one.
He was just trying to get paid, he robbing and doing these scams, fixing the plan. I went to court and they shipped me to prison for robbing a man. It was disaster, up in the cell with these niggas that old us to throwing them hands. Don't give a damn, remember respecting your nuts is the only thing make you a man. He was just trying to get paid, he robbing and doing these scams, fixing the plan. I went to court and they shipped me to prison for robbing a man. It was disaster, up in the cell with these niggas that old us to throwing them hands. Don't give a damn, remember respecting your nuts is the only thing make you a man. Mom told me focus on me, told me stay out of the street, but how do I do it? People be all in your ear, telling you 20 new things, it be confusing. How the fuck I was 15 and I make the news, no weather, kinda amusing. Just cause the youngest still skinny, don't ever assume I've been using. Ayy, short like raising no grudge, man. I smoke a lot, don't judge that. By my respect, you get whacked. Ain't squashing nothing, say fuck.
All right, so pretty much that's what we got here to start off. So very first thing that we want to pay attention to always as an engineer is like the music is very important. You as an engineer, it's also your song as well. So you can't be a lazy person who says, oh yeah, you know, it sounds good. It sounds like you got everything sounding good, bro. Yeah. No, you got to listen to the rapper sometimes too, because how he flowing, there's spaces in between. So me as an engineer, me being a little, you know, coach, I'm also telling him, bro, you got to go in there and do a little ad lib and go sauce it up. You feel me? Go get crunk on them. Go turn up on them real quick, you feel me? So that's something very important to know as an engineer or somebody who's doing ad-libs as well. You know, usually ad-libs is used to fill up a little bit of that space, you know, help the rhythm of the music going. So as you kind of hear, he rapping but he's stopping, he rapping but he's stopping. So first thing I do with my ad-libs is I love to cut them up. Look at the clip game, cutting them up. So they're gonna hit the processing chain all a little bit different, and I got them panned a little bit wobbly as well. So all of that is like me like doing my like kind of marination process. So then after that, today we're gonna be using the SoundToys effects rack bundle, a crazy bundle. And very first thing, let's look at the EQ. So with the EQ, that's really the positioning of stuff, you know, your frequencies that your ear literally hears. You know, if somebody come up a little bit closer like that, it's not like that close. But when you know you backing up a little bit, you don't hear that much low end energy. So we're using the EQ not to make it muddy or anything like that. I'm just doing a little bit of basic EQ to, you know, this right here is the distance. So the more I push this, the farther back the ad-libs are gonna sound, okay? Let's listen to it before and after. I did a little dip right here because I was hearing a little bit of harshness and a little bit of nuisance type of situation. So I did like a little wide cue type of thing, and that's what I kind of like to do, like a pre-processing for my ad-libs. Usually the ad-lib is mostly mid-range energy, and of course the top, we wrote off a little bit of top, but that was mainly due to the fact that you know, when somebody's in a cave, usually when somebody's in a cave and they're far, you can't really hear that much top end frequency. So I'm using the EQ as positioning. So let's listen to it with and without real quick.
Remember respecting your nuts is the only thing make you a man. He was just trying to get paid, he robbing and doing these scams, fixing the plan. I went to court and they shipped me to prison for robbing a man. It was disaster, up in the cell with these niggas that old us to throwing them hands. Don't give a damn, remember respecting your nuts is the only thing make you a man. Yeah. Mom told me focus on me, told me stay out of the street, but how do I do it? People be all in your ear, telling you 20 new things, it be confusing. How the fuck I was 15 and I make the news, no weather, kinda amusing. Just cause the youngest still skinny, don't ever assume I've been using. Ayy, short like raising no grudge, man. I smoke a lot, don't judge that. By my
So yeah, usually that's what EQ is about, mostly positioning. All right, cool. Next thing we're gonna do, I'm not gonna waste no time. I'm gonna just start mixing. This is kind of like a different video format I'm gonna do where I'm just mixing, and y'all just gonna see how I go about doing what I do.
He was just trying to get paid, he robbing and doing these scams, fixing the plan. I went to court and they shipped me to prison for robbing a man. It was disaster, up in the cell with these niggas that old us to throwing them hands. Don't give a damn, remember respecting your nuts is the only thing make you a man. He was just trying to get paid, he robbing and doing these scams, fixing the plan. I went to court and they shipped me to prison for robbing a man. It was disaster, up in the cell with these niggas that old us to throwing them hands. Don't give a damn, remember respecting your nuts is the only thing make you a man. Mom told me focus on me, told me stay out of the street, but how do I do it? People be all in your ear, telling you 20 new things, it be confusing. How the fuck I was 15 and I make the news, no weather, kinda amusing. Just cause the youngest still skinny, don't ever assume I've been using. Ayy, short like raising no grudge, man. I smoke a lot, don't judge that. By my respect, respect, you get whacked. Ain't squashing nothing, say fuck that. Short like raising no grudge, man. I smoke a lot, don't judge that. But my respect, you get whacked. Ain't squashing nothing, say fuck that. Please. He was just trying to get paid, he robbing and doing these scams. Facing the plan, I went to court and they shit me to prison for robbing a man. It was a Zan, up in the cell with these niggas that old us to throwing them hands. Don't give a damn, remember respecting your nuts is the only thing make you a man. He was just trying to get paid, he robbing and doing these scams. Facing the plan, I went to court and they shit me to prison for robbing a man. It was a Zan, up in the cell with these niggas that old us to throwing them hands. Don't give a damn, remember respecting your nuts is the only thing make you a man. Mom told me focus on me, told me stay out of the street, but how do I do it? People be all in your ear, telling you 20 new things, it be confusing. How the fuck I was 15 and I make the news, no weather, kinda amusing. Just cause the youngest still skinny, don't ever assume I've been using. Ayy, short like raising no grudge, man. I smoke a lot, don't judge that. But my respect, you get whacked. Ain't squashing nothing, say fuck that. Short like raising no grudge, man. I smoke a lot, don't judge that. But my respect, you get whacked. Ain't squashing nothing, say fuck.
All right, so that's what we started off with. Basic kind of like boosting EQ, kind of shaping the tonality, and we put in a little bit echo right away, just helping me catch my vibe. So let's keep mixing. I think the next thing I'm gonna go with is like a micro shift. I kind of like to use the micro shift a lot, so I'm gonna start it with a very low mix, but pretty much it's like a doubler type of Eventide H3000-ish type of doubler effect. It helps it give a little bit more dimension.
Please. I say it got me through the path. I can't sleep. Cut these crackers on my ass. He was just trying to get paid, he robbing and doing these scams. Facing the plan, I went to court and they shit me to prison for robbing a man. It was a Zan, up in the cell with these niggas that old us to throwing them hands. Don't give a damn, remember respecting your nuts is the only thing make you a man. He was just trying to get paid, he robbing and doing these scams. Facing the plan, I went to court and they shit me to prison for robbing a man. It was a Zan, up in the cell with these niggas that old us to throwing them hands. Don't give a damn, remember respecting your nuts is the only thing make you a man. Get up and out of the park, hit up on straight with the law. I ain't playing, they be like, Tim, you going so crazy like I'm super.
All right, so let's go back to looping this first part. So I like to listen to it all throughout, but when I find my vibe where there's enough ad-libs, I like to keep listening.
He was just trying to get paid, he robbing and doing these scams. Facing the plan, I went to court and they shit me to prison for robbing a man. It was a Zan, up in the cell with these niggas that old.
All right, and then I'm gonna add in a devil lock, which is kind of like a distortion type of thing. It's gonna help the ad-libs become a little bit more aggressive. Let me bring the mix low.
Don't give a damn, remember respecting your nuts is the only thing make you a man. He was just trying to get paid, he robbing and doing these scams. Facing the plan, I went to court and they shit me to prison for robbing a man. It was a Zan, up in the cell with these niggas that old us to throwing them hands. Don't give a damn, remember respecting your nuts is the only thing make you a man. Mom told me focus on me, told me stay out of the street, but how do I do it? People be all in your ear, telling you 20 new things, it be confusing. How the fuck I was 15 and I make the news, no weather, kinda amusing. Just cause the youngest still skinny, don't ever assume I've been using. Ayy, short like raising no grudge, man. I smoke a lot, don't judge that. But my respect, you get whacked. Ain't squashing nothing, say fuck that. Short like raising no grudge, man. I smoke a lot, don't judge that. But my respect, you get whacked. Ain't squashing nothing, say fuck. He was just trying to get paid, he robbing and doing these scams. Facing the plan, I went to court and they shit me to prison for robbing a man. It was a Zan, up in the cell with these niggas that old us to throwing them hands. Don't give a damn, remember respecting your nuts is the only thing make you a man. He was just trying to get paid, he robbing and doing these scams. Facing the plan, I went to court and they shit me to prison for robbing a man. It was a Zan, up in the cell with these niggas that old us to throwing them hands. Don't give a damn, remember respecting your nuts is the only thing make you a man. Mom told me focus on me, told me stay out of the street, but how do I do it? People be all in your ear, telling you 20 new things, it be confusing. How the fuck I was 15 and I make the news, no weather, kinda amusing. Just cause the youngest still skinny, don't ever assume I've been using. Ayy, short like raising no grudge, man. I smoke a lot, don't judge that. But my respect, you get whacked. Ain't squashing nothing, say fuck that. Short like raising no grudge, man. I smoke a lot, don't judge that. But my respect, you get whacked. Ain't squashing nothing, say fuck that. Please. I say it got me through the path. I can't sleep. Cut these crackers on my ass. He was just trying to get paid, he robbing and doing these scams. Facing the plan, I went to court and they shit me to prison for robbing a man. It was a Zan, up in the cell with these niggas that old us to throwing them hands. Don't give a damn, remember respecting your nuts is the only thing make you a man. He was just trying to get paid, he robbing and doing these scams. Facing the plan, I went to court and they shit me to prison for robbing a man. It was a Zan, up in the cell with these niggas that old us to throwing them
All right, so I feel like I'm really satisfied with what I got right there. So yeah, it's pretty quick with the effects rack to just catch a tone. Let's just review everything that we went over really quickly. So we did our little EQ. First thing, we did a side EQ, a vintage type of EQ, just helping give the vocal some of that character that sometimes can be lost when you do all that EQing and stuff like that. After that, we did with a little micro shift. It really just helped the ad-libs get a little bit of whiff. That's what the micro shift does. It's kind of like a doubler, uses pitch shift delay. So it gives a little bit more dimension. It's kind of similar to what the human ear hears, you know, when it comes to things like early reflections. That's what it feels like to me. Okay, and then after that, you know, you get 3 styles. Then after that, we had the Echo Boy. We had the doubler going into the Echo Boy, so that, you know, on purpose I did that. It just kind of made it a little bit more wider. It made the delays wider as well, because now you have this doubler that has this kind of like dense type of, you know, pitch shifting delay going in the echo, just creating a certain texture. And I pushed the input a little bit to give some character. What I like about the Echo Boy is that it gives a bunch of different styles. You know, it gives memory man, it gives a bunch of different type of saturation types. So sometimes people even just turn this off, the delay part, and they just use it as a saturator, which is incredible. You know, we messed around with the different echo types, and we landed at dual echoes. So one echo's on one side, the other one's on the other. I put an 1/8 on the left side, a 4th on the other side, and it really just helped to create a new rhythm. That's what ad-libs are about, a rhythm. I don't know, do it, move it. Now you still, like, now you really wanted to get into that bit, because now it's a new little movement rather than when he just rapping, pause, rapping, pause, rapping, pause, and it's kind of like flat is boring. But now when I'm ad-libs, moving, and I'm grooving, now that shit add a whole new groove. So sometimes as an engineer, the rapper got to flow, but you as an engineer, you got to flow too. You got to put your flow in there too, your rhythm in there too. You feel me? After that, we went over to the Devil Lock, and the main thing I really use the Devil Lock for is just to get more darkness. The Devil Lock is a compressor, so it's also giving a pumping compression type of characteristic too. You know, it's modified after like a PA mic type of limiter situation. So fast release, and I use the more darkness just to literally make it sound darker. Self-explanatory. Last thing, we used the big radiator. So this is going after I think this is an Altec mixer, and that's, you know, throwback back in the days type of Abbey Road. They actually modified like an Altec compressor, the Abbey Road RS124, so that would be like the compressor, but there was also Altec mixers, and, you know, we use this to finally give it some warming characteristic. So this is the end of the video here today. You know, I had a reverb that was also being shared with the lead vocal and everything like that, but usually if I have them with the same reverb, that's because I want them to share the same space. But if I'll use another reverb like Valhalla or something like that, you know, I'm usually trying to create some separation. But I wanted these ad-libs to kind of blend in, because they were coming in when the times when there was you know, no space pretty much. So, you know, usually if it's a situation where the ad-libs are kind of like overlapping with the verse, I will use like a reverb with a different sound, so the listener can be like, oh, that's a new sound. So, you know, I just want to say thanks a lot for being a great part of my YouTube family. I really do appreciate you guys. Any more questions, like, comment, or anything like that, drop it down below. I'm more than happy to get it to it. Thanks a lot for being a great part of my YouTube family. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Now, hey, go try out that SoundToys effects rack, SoundToys, everything. They be sliding for the ad-libs. This is the sauce right here. All right, thanks a lot. Peace.